What is up, guys? Mars here with something new, just kind of again. Jesus Christ, I've been trying to do this for such a long time. First on the computer, then on the Xbox, now back to the computer again. Um, just to sort of try and freaking get something that works. So because my HTTP VR is being an asshole, I am going to start on the computer. Hopefully, I will also do other games. Definitely looking forward to that. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get friggin' started here. Got to load world and build some friggin' terrain. So I'm gonna talk about like what's happened the last few weeks. This past week was the first week of Marching Band, so that was fun. Met a lot of really interesting people. Freshmen this year are definitely one of a kind. I know very few in particular that are just awesome. I've already talked to them extensively. Already added one on Facebook too. She's pretty cool. Anyway, first I wanted to show off my new skin, the Ruby skin. If you don't know, Ruby is a show that the company Rooster Teeth does, and it is essentially, how do I describe it? It's basically teens going to a school to learn to be warriors, and they have to fight different things. That's really all I can say. I mean, it's anime, so you know what you're gonna get with that. But definitely check it out because I definitely enjoyed it. I think they are starting season 2. I think the first episode is out actually for the whole public to enjoy, not just sponsors anymore. So definitely go ahead and check that out. Block March earned the achievement taking inventory. Our first achievement. You always learn that earn. Blah, 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 blah. Can't freaking talk. It is like 9:15. Don't blame me. 9:15 on a Saturday night. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we learned to count. Okay. God damn it. I guess I gotta explain the story behind that thing. So, one of the things that Rooster Teeth does, as a yearly thing, is something called RTX. What does RTX stand for? It is Rooster Teeth Expo. Thank you for asking, loyal listener. Um, and basically, what it is their own community event, kind of like their own Comic Con or their own VidCon or whatever the hell you want to call it. That's why it's called an expo, you know. Um, and so they do it every year. It's basically where the Rooster Teeth community can come together and just celebrate what they love, Rooster Teeth. And the company's been around for I think 12 years. The fourth one just passed. And in that fourth one, they did a Cards Against Humanity game, and one of the guys, Miles, had to read a set of cards that were basically, what did you bring for show and tell? Which, show and tell is obviously a kid's thing. So he had to get his voice to be able to talk like a little kid. It's just kind of his personality. It makes sense if you know him. Anyway, back to the video. I don't even know what I was gonna say. Huh? Lost my train of thought after I got talking about Rooster Teeth. But for those of you who don't know what it is, get in the YouTubes, dude. Come on. I've been on YouTube for 5 years now. Yeah, something like that. I'm approaching my fifth anniversary. Somewhere in December 2009, I think is when I finally, made an account, started getting a presence. And it's only recently that I've really tried to get out there, start putting myself out there, start making videos, start producing content that people can watch and enjoy. Generally, people just like watching other people play video games. I mean, one of the freshmen that I was talking to said that she didn't like video games necessarily, but she just liked watching people play video games. I'm like, okay, so why don't I just make a video of me talking and playing a video game? I also remember another person that I had met. This was years ago now. Um, because I advertise my channel in a lot of different places, people will often watch my videos to figure out how I sound before they talk to me for the first time. A lot of internet people will do that. That's a very clever method. I haven't had the chance to use that, but I imagine that if I did have the chance to use it, I would use it in a heartbeat. Just so you can sort of get a person's personality and then figure out how to deal with that personality. But of course, you don't really know a person until you actually have a conversation. As you can see, I am digging a tiny, shitty little hut here Sorry for the swearing. I'm gonna try and stop. I know how that bugs people. It's a little hut in the ground. Um, it's not bad. You know, I could fix the roof here, raise the roof and shake your booty. I have no idea what that's from, but that just popped in my head, so I decided to say it. That sort of thing. Make videos. You gotta be spontaneous. You gotta be weird. You gotta be crazy. You gotta be out there. Not a lot of people can anymore, and I guess that's sort of a skill that a lot of people have lost. A lot of people will do boring videos just where they talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and don't make jokes. They don't interact directly with their audience. These are things you need to do if you want to be successful on YouTube. People who already do that, Philip DeFranco is a great example of this. He calls us the nation and just, I think he actually bought coffee for everybody. He got a gift card and put the hell's it called, little scanner thing, barcode on Instagram, and he just like, hey nation, go buy some coffee. So that's what the people did if they really wanted to. I of course did not because I don't drink a lot of coffee. But by the end of this series, you will think that I am just hooked on coffee or some other caffeinated beverage because I'm going to be insane. It's always going to be insane, though. It's going to be a little crazy, a little bit insane, just because then you can accept things and you can talk about things and you can do things that regular people would never, ever, ever do. What else did we do? Might as well talk about marching band a little bit more. Basically, what marching band is, it is literally band but marching. I don't mean to be a smartass, but that's exactly what it is. You play music and you march. Is that easy? Hell the hell no. Hell the hell no? Whatever. I'm running with it. Basically, the physical extent of it does get to a lot of people. But again, the freshmen of this year have been really cool about it. They've been just been sort of like, hey, this is band. This is what we expect. We're going to kick some serious ass. And what is it the Vector guy used to say? Um, Kick some ass and taking names. I don't know how many times he said that. Little intro there. I met how the hell did it work? I went for an orientation for something, and the guy who doing the orientation said, kicking ass, taking names. He said that phrase maybe 20 times. He was a very, very upbeat guy. Really, really not sort of down to earth, but just really just upbeat. And you talking to him for more than 10 minutes, you wanted to go out and do something. You wanted to go out and take some action, and that's usually how a lot of these people work. Is they inspire people. And if you inspire people, you usually get support. That's again what the guy like Philip DeFranco does. If you guys don't know, he does just basically a news show. I mean, his intro literally says, "This is a news show," dun, 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 and then it's like a little monkey. Anyway, he's one of the original YouTuber guys. We're just going to go down a short list here. We got iJustine. She was an original YouTuber. She now does a whole bunch of gaming news stuff. I'm actually really happy for her. How far she's come is definitely a testament to how far you can get in the world just from YouTube in itself. Just talking to a freaking camera. Like, that's usually what she would do. Especially in the beginning, when she would just talk to a camera. Just be like, hey, people, sup. And that's basically what she did. Of course, she was a very attractive individual. But, that probably only had somewhat of an effect. I'm kidding. It probably had a lot of an effect. But I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just trying to say she's a very attractive young lady. Anyway. No, I do not have a crush on a YouTuber. That would be weird. Then again, I've really gone off the rails of being weird. I can't really make an excuse of something being weird for a reason that I wouldn't do it. So, yeah, there's that. I did a smile that I knew you were just seeing. Just like, ding! It's like flash the screen. It's like a little ad. Ding! I'm making myself laugh, see? Actually, I have a question. For you crazy commenters out there, if you want to comment on this question, I'm going to be asking a lot of questions in this video for you guys to comment on, if you are so inclined. Also, give feedback and whatnot. I always appreciate that. Even a little bit of trolling. We all need to troll somebody every once in a while. We all feel a little bit down. We all need to rip someone apart. I personally have never had the inclination to do that just because I realize how much it takes for someone to sit in front of a camera and film a video and post it on the internet and put yourself out there. The guy that I'm sort of inspired by, Ray William Johnson, he still doesn't get to this day what drives him to do that. He was talking about that a few years ago in one of his vlogs, where it's just like he has this urge, this sort of need to entertain an audience. And, most performers get that. Most performers say, oh yeah, that's just sort of how it is. That's just sort of how it works. And not a lot of people outside of the industry really get it. They're just like, why do you talk to, like, people will ask me, why do you talk to yourself? That's sort of one of the things. I was featured in this past yearbook, for example. Everyone ripped me a new one. They were just like, why do you make videos? Why do you do this? Why do you talk to yourself on the internet? And the crazy part is, I don't see it as talking to myself. I don't. Like, I get that's how it sort of is, but I just don't see it that way. I mean, I see myself as talking, to a specific audience. Obviously, someone is going to watch this video. Therefore, I am entertaining someone. I am being sort of the source of what they want and sort of what they want to hear and what they want to listen to. So, it's always good to sort of be that for someone. Sorry, I had to click off. Someone's actually calling me on Skype right now. So, yeah. That teaches me. Be signed out of Skype when you do a video. Speaking of Skype, I do a lot of my work through Skype. I do a lot of my communicating through Skype. Skype has sort of been sort of my own little private social media hub for the past, God, I don't know, year, I'm going to say. Something like that. We are actually in trouble here. Sun is going down. I have not looked at my surroundings all that much, but we are sort of making a little thing here. I'm going to leave one little corner open, and I'm just going to sort of build. The thing about the Xbox version of this game is that you can just sort of build however you want. You can just sort of have the materials and they all fall right in place. Can't do that on this game. So I'm going to make a pickaxe, and that is 2 sticks, just like that, and then 3 across the top. And then, of course, you ended up with an odd number of planks, which always bugs me. I'm just going to sort of dig out the floor a little bit. I got enough dirt to replace it. Yes, this is the agrarian age. The dirt floors are all the rage. I did not even mean to make that rhyme, I swear to God. I just wanted to make an agrarian age reference. For those of you who don't know, agrarian age is basically like hunter-gatherer slash dirt floor slash, poor. Just to throw that really controversial phrase out there. I have to actually look up the ages. Because, history, that's one of the things that sort of really gets me. It doesn't get a lot of people anymore. Not a lot of people are interested in what happened, thousands and thousands of years ago. But, something that is important to note. When you do end up studying history, whenever that may be, remember, that good old rule of history repeating itself. Yeah, that's a thing. Like, yeah, that happens. Because we're humans. And, humans like to repeat their mistakes. A lot. Where I notice this the most? Relationships. People will learn a lesson through a relationship, or think they learned a lesson through a relationship, and they'll go and make the exact same mistake again. That always sucks. That always sucks when you do sort of make the same mistake through a relationship, because you sort of feel like you wasted your time. You feel like, well, shit. Why was I doing that? Why was I involved in this thing, whatever this thing might be? Or why was I involved in this project or this endeavor or whatever it may be? It definitely annoys a lot of people when they have to waste their time like that. Definitely annoys me. I mean, why wouldn't it annoy you? You just wasted some of your life. But then you've got, the optimistic people who are always nice to have in your life, where they're like, wasn't exactly a waste of time because I learned something. But then that comes back to my point of, then you forget it. So as long as you don't forget the lessons you've learned from these people, you should be fine. You should be okay, not too screwed up, and just keep going. Just keep trucking along. This is more specifically people who have been in recent breakout. Just keep trucking. Just keep going. I think I watched some black girl that I have friended on Facebook. I just love the stereotypical, just like, some black girl. Anyway, she posted a Medea video. And, probably none of you know this about me, but for whatever reason, I find Medea to be, somewhat hilarious, but also somewhat down to earth. Sometimes, I mean, as much as someone like her can be. I don't really know how you guys feel about that. Feel free to debate that. That's definitely up for debate. But she was just saying, you can be sad about it, you can be, wallow in pity about it, whatever. But then, move on. Get on with your life, go out, do something. Meet new people is usually what I say. When you're in school, that's pretty easy to do, but once you're out in the real world, it's a lot more difficult to get over somebody. I realize that. People always tell, like, whenever I give this advice to people, just like, oh, moveon.org, they go, that's very easy for you to do. You're in school. You see other people. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I see, what, at least over 200 people. Do I want to see 200 people? Yeah, at least over 100 people. I got it. At least over 150 people per day. Easily. So I get what they're saying with that, where it's just like, it's much easier for me to move on because I can replace that person with other people. As mean as that sounds. And I'm not saying move on quickly, though. That's another thing. I'm not trying to say, oh, get over them in a day. But definitely meeting people, like I have, for example, um, gets you to sort of break off from the memory of them. It sort of gets you through the painful part of it. And then you can just sort of sit there and laugh when their life falls apart and you're already with somebody else, happy. And that's always a nice feeling when someone who rips your heart open. God, this is getting really real. When someone who rips your heart open, when they fail, it's a very good feeling. For whatever reason. I don't mean to sound like an asshole, but it is. And I mean, if you've been through a breakup, you know what I'm talking about, where it's just like you see the other person fail, and then you get to laugh at them because they ruined sort of your emotional, what you thought was emotional stability, and now they get their lives a little bit more dramatized, and that's funny to you. That's something that really entertains you, and that's fine. It's fine to sort of be that guy for a little bit. I'm gonna rearrange these. These are bugging me. But don't be that guy forever. Eventually say, hey, you done fucked. Don't think you done fucked. But you can always reach out and see if there's anything you can do. If someone breaks up with you, and then like years later you guys reconnect, and they see that you've still got sort of that, not respect, but that you're willing to talk with them in a dignified manner. Usually, most of them appreciate that. One of the breakups that I went through, specifically, it was fine. It was a long conversation. It was eventually a mutual decision, which is usually how I like to end it. Just because it's like we both still have respect for each other. We both still say, "Hey, who knows what the future will hold?" That kind of thing. Sort of optimism all over again. And who knows? 20 years from now, who knows where we'll be? I mean, I'm currently almost Jesus. I don't even want to say my age on here. It's a bit too old. I probably sound older than I actually am. Anyway, but yeah, you don't know where you're gonna be in like 10 or 15 years. Also, high school doesn't matter. Let's get that out there. In the grand scheme of things, high school is not the biggest deal. Of course, for a lot of people I know, and especially for me, it is because it's the only thing we know. It's the only thing that we know that's going on that is big in our lives. We go there every day. It's kind of a thing. Um, but yeah, no, it's not. Don't let it sort of control your emotions or control your life in any way. I mean, your reputation. You'll still meet people. You'll still meet people outside of high school. And, just on the internet too. I mean, I've gone to a lot of online sites. I've gone to a lot of online communities. The people there don't know exactly who you are. If you go to the right one, they'll be very friendly with you. They'll sort of try to almost accept you immediately. And that's always a nice feeling, too. That sort of gets your confidence up immediately. Being accepted, being loved, talking, finding someone with common interests. That's always good. I feel like a therapist. Actually, speaking of therapy, one of my one of my friends a few weeks ago, we were having a really good conversation. I think it was either face to face or on Skype. But after a while, he just it was face to face because he gave me a really weird look after a little while. And I say, what? And he just goes, you would make a really good therapist. And I go, why? It's because apparently, like, he describes me, and this is one of the people that I've known for a long time. He's very perceptive about things. He described me as someone who just genuinely gives a shit. That's actually how he said it. But who genuinely cares about a lot of people. One other person actually mentioned that was the issue, was that I was running myself dry caring about so many different people. One thing I do for people when I notice their birthday's coming up is that I write birthday cards. I must have written 20 birthday cards for 20 different people. At least. Everyone was very happy that I did. But then I realized that's not a thing people do. Okay? That's not a thing. So, there's that as well. I hate to sort of just kind of cut that conversation off, but I am realizing we are running time a little bit fast here. I don't want to bore you with a half-hour long video. I don't want to keep droning on and on and on, and I sort of got to find a place to sort of cut. So I think it's going to be here. But let me go. Let me view the sunrise. Sing a good old Beatles favorite of mine. Here comes the sun, do 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 do. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Alright, on that note, no pun intended, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully it'll come out soon. I don't know when this is going to be released, but whatever. Fuck it. I might release multiples per day. Whatever I end up doing. See you guys next video. Bye-bye.